Are you looking to be a leader at an organization, whether that's a supervisor, manager, or an executive? But one of the things you must know and what you must prioritize is your customers. We're going to give you 5 priorities that you need to have when you jump into that role so that you can be successful. I'm Dr. J.
I'm Dr. C.
And welcome to Two Doc Mind.
So today at a Two Doc Minds, we wanted to have a conversation with you all about how, as leaders, as executives, as people who are looking to be promoted, start a new business, or become entrepreneur, whatever the case may be, how we can tap into our customers and how we can really leverage who our customers are in our business. So what does this mean? In essence, it means, what does it look like to prioritize your customers and help it to build your career? So that means that we're going to take a look at 5 key ideas that will help you shape your vision, your values, and your strategies on how it applies to your clientele.
And that's critical, Dr. C. And the reason why that's critical, because if you're a small business or you're a large corporation, your customers is going to bring in that revenue for your business to survive. And sometimes you have to understand that if you're not putting that customer first, which means if you're not putting your money and your revenue first, there's a chance that you won't be successful. I don't care who you are. If you work in the public sector, if you're not putting your customers, which is the public first, then you're going to have challenges in that position. So it's critical, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what business or organization you run, you have a customer, and it's an imperative that you put that customer first for your success.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with your statements. I mean, customers are what you must prioritize in any sector that you're in, be it public sector, the nonprofit sector, manufacturing, technology, wherever you go, whatever. It crosses all borders.
Yep, absolutely.
So today, like we mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about a couple of strategies for us to look at as we try to grow in our careers. And so let's talk about the first strategy, which is establish a customer-centric culture. Very important. And what does that look like when you're in it? What does it look like when you are in an organization and you're trying to get your job done and you're noticing that the customer idea is not centered in the work that you do every day?
No, I think the first thing is when you're first at the job and you're getting orientation into that job, a whole training, a whole introduction should be about the customer and putting that customer first. You have to start there. And if that is not your mission and goal when you come into my organization, you may not be a great fit, right?
I agree.
And we have to set that. We also have to set clear goals and expectations, what we would call KPIs in our world, key performance indicators, that gives us stats on what our customer is feeling, right? Stats on how satisfied they are. And that's all surveys, our testimonials. You can get that information and you can understand the heartbeat of that customers. You can do that on social media and get information on that through, going out there and looking at your brand and see if there's a positive response to your organization from your customers. There's so many ways you can do it, but you have to measure it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think those are very important indicators of letting you know what is and isn't when it comes to customer service. But also when it comes to being a part of an organization, it's important to witness what is happening around you. It's important to look around and saying, okay, what are the priorities of this organization that I'm currently a part of or want to be a part of, or I'm trying to get inside? What does customer centricity look like to this organization? And do they actually prioritize their customers?
Yeah.
So you being a witness to what is happening around you is opening your eyes, looking at some of the cues and saying, do they speak to their customers? Do they value the feedback that the customers provide?
Yeah.
Do they allow ease of communication between the two sides?
Yeah.
And this may be something that leaders need to really take key note on, because it's going to help them make their decisions in the future.
No, for example, I think and one of the things we want to do is give everyone examples. An example is I've seen a customer and I've been on the phone, and you've been on with cell phone companies, right? Or some other company, and you have an issue and you call this line, but it's someone else you need to talk to. And they just kind of hang up and say, call this number. Well, that's not a customer centric approach. You want to be as helpful you can to either help that customer or guide them to the right solution. And that's what we're talking about. Every engagement has to be from a customer-centric approach.
And if you witness those engagements and you notice those things happening, what decisions are you going to make in that moment as a person that's trying to be their best successful person?
Change immediately.
What does that look like for you when you're right in that moment and in the future of your career? How do you allow that to help you scope who you want to be in the future?
Yeah, and if you're a leader, you got to deal with it. You got to change the process, policy. You have to do training.
Yes.
You have to do retraining, and sometimes you have to let people go if they can't adhere to that training, because poor customer service can really put a dent in your bottom line.
Prioritize your customers.
So that's critical. So what's our second one?
I say invest in employee training. This is such a simple thing, but such a very essential part of anybody doing business. Employee training involves providing your employees with materials, of course, having monthly, annual employee training events, and making sure that all compliance is up to date. So employee training can mean a lot of different things, again, for a lot of different people.
No, it's true. We had a call center with about 45, 50 reps. And one of the things that we did was simple. We had 15-minute daily check-ins. What's going on? Do we have any huge issues with any of our customers? And we triage that. Then we also had weekly meetings. And that's what we call our weekly audit. We review tape and we assess how folks were engaging with customers. And we analyzed that and we made sure that they did it the way we wanted to do. And if they didn't, we corrected that and we made adjustments.
Yes, absolutely. I've had experiences with different techniques that different employers that I've worked for use to onboard their employees. And the onboarding process can be an intervening stage where you can introduce that new employee or your ongoing employees with the type of value system that you have. It's very important in organizational culture and during the onboarding process for you to say, this is who we are as an organization. And if you notice and recognize what the company is doing and not doing, or has not shared with you with regards to how to prioritize customer service, this is your time to acknowledge that and witness how they behave and how they value their customers.
Yeah, consistent training is critical. So what's our third suggestion?
Empower employees. And it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Empowering employees is giving them the knowledge, the materials to really show their customers what it means for them to patronize their business. And empowering your employees also, I think, is in essence making sure that your employees feel recognized and feel like they exist. And just saying hello, that can happen. And just saying, I matter.
No, I think the employees mattering is critical, and making sure that you empower them so that they give the public or their customers the best attention they can. But one of the things that we've done and one of the things that we've seen is, I've been in organizations before, we would handcuff our customer service folks and handcuff our employees from being able to make decisions, right? So we had to empower them. We had to give them a flexibility and authority to make certain decisions and to do certain things so that you can provide quick, adequate service to the customer. So for example, someone called with a product issue. Well, we were able to shift a new product out depending on what it was or what dollar amount. We were able to give a 5% discount without having to escalate something. Right. So those things empowered our employees, right, to be able to handle that customer quickly and provide a more positive, swift response.
Yes, I think that has a lot to do with allowing access to the decision making, even just regardless of your status in an organization. Yeah. Giving an employee the power to give 5 to 10% discount and saying, I want to compensate you for your trouble.
I'm sorry we messed up.
I'm sorry that we messed up. Let me give you something. Let me rectify the situation from my perspective, from my standing, so you could feel better as a customer. This is an ideal situation of what prioritizing a customer means.
So you want to make sure, as you're a leader of these organizations, that you are empowering your people to put your customers first. And if you work in an organization and that's what you're seeing, drop a 1 in a comment or drop a comment down below so that we can understand what you all are doing, because we are a family and we're learning from each other. So Dr. C, we have another one. What's the fourth?
Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate customer service success. What does that mean? To recognize and celebrate individuals and teams that consistently provide exceptional customer service.
And I've seen this in different ways. So we had a 5-star system at our organization. And when we had a month with, on average, 4.6 stars, we would give our employees swag. We would have a luncheon or breakfast, but we'll do something to celebrate those employees so that they are acknowledged for the great job that they've done. And that celebration was not so much the celebration of our customers, it's a celebration of how our employees were interacting with the customer, because that was our core mission. That was one of our values. And so when folks are hearing it, we want to acknowledge that. The last thing that you want to do is not acknowledge your team for great work. Set milestones, set expectations, set targets, and when they are met, acknowledge people and celebrate them.
Absolutely. I've been a part of fundraising events in my nonprofit history, and most frequently what occurred was that you get recognized as an employee for being a part of a campaign and raising so much funds and acknowledging those people that helped you get there. So there's different ways that you can see this play out about having the indicators of how you can acknowledge employees and really encourage them to be a part of your customers' relationship with any organization. It's very important to look at how important is the employees is in the process.
No, yeah, that's critical. So what is our fifth priority?
Allow feedback. So what does that mean? Establish channels for employees to provide feedback on customer service processes and suggest improvements, or use employee insights to make informed decisions about customer service. So you spoke about this earlier on in the video about how you're looking at KPIs, you're looking at indicators, you're looking at things that are going to help you identify what it is to have good customer service or prioritize your customers. So it's just reflecting back on what you've already stated.
Yeah, not only KPIs, but system issues, right? I'm trying to go in a system, I'm trying to research some things, and it's taking me 5 minutes to get to a screen so I can help and support my customer. So my customer's on hold waiting. Those are things that you can change as well. It's not so much a survey, right, of how we are doing internally, but there's also ways that you can change your processes, your operations, so that your customer folks can get back quickly. The best thing that you can do in an organization is be very responsive to your customers. The longer they wait, the more frustrated they get.
Yeah, I've worked with many companies, and they had a comment box or feedback box for its employees. And this was a way that you could secretly provide your questions or your comments or some type of method for you to communicate to those that be the people in power. There's something going wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or there's something going right. So yeah, definitely allowing feedback is essential, because then, if in that comment box, the managers or the supervisors read the comments and they keep seeing that same comment over and over again, they're going to be forced to address it. And that is something that needs to be addressed. That is something that's probably impacting customer service. And that is what feedback is about in prioritizing customer service.
Allowing feedback is great. So Dr. C, could you recap those 5 priorities for customer service?
Absolutely. So we talked about establish a customer-centric culture. Then we discussed invest in employee training, empowering your employees, and celebrating customer service success. And finally, allowing feedback. These are very simple things that are typical in business that we all can employ on some level, no matter what stage of the organization you are in, that could help you to develop your value system as a professional, develop your value system as a business owner, to actually you hone in on your skills from any manner of what stage you are in your career.
Absolutely. So if this was helpful for you, please put something in a comment. This is something that every executive prioritizes when they're sitting in that seat. So if you're looking to be an executive or a leader within your organization, make sure you value your employees and set customer service as that priority.
Yes.
And I want you all to continue to like,
comment,
and subscribe, and hit that
like button,
notification bell.
Email us, contact us. Please, we're looking for feedback. We are always looking for new ideas about our video. We are excited to hear about how we're doing and learn new ways of how we can prioritize our customers.
Yep, and I'm Dr. J.
I'm Dr. C.
And thank you for watching 2 Doc Mind.